to the Porick family Christmas video. This is our third year doing it, so is it annual?
I need to go potty.
Julia has been really into saying her full name. Julia Mavis Porick.
I am Julia Mavis Porick, and I am free.
So she's gotten everyone at daycare to address each other by their full name.
I'm grade 1, I got 1. I got a cook. Zachariah, Jermaine, Allen. I don't know else.
This year, Julia got her big girl bed. It was quite a struggle at first. But we left Julia's baby monitor in there, so we've got some pretty funny stuff.
Julia, I like you. Thank you. I got Baby Yoda over here. Whoa, Julia, I like that.
Last year, my parents surprised me with guitar lessons with Olivia Rodrigo's guitar teacher. G chord, C chord. I've improved. This year at Franklin Middle School, we did a talent show, and I ran sound for it. I followed in the footsteps of my father. You proud of me yet, Dad?
You never have to guess where you stand with Julia. She's real clear on whether you've achieved best friend status.
My best friend is Daddy, and Mommy, and Ruby, and Lucy.
Or if you've lost it.
I am not the best friend.
I wish I had a MacBook Pro, but they are so expensive.
Oh, it's easy to get one. Just enter a contest and win it.
Good job, Lucy.
Have you ever had a time where you just couldn't come up with the right word to express your feelings? Julia had this experience recently when she was really angry. So she came up with a gesture instead. Lucy calls this the toddler flick. Thanks, Lou. This summer, Wheaton College's Earth and Environmental Science Department invited us out to the Black Hills of South Dakota to visit the Wheaton College Science Center. While we were there, we felt really welcomed by the faculty, staff, and students of the Science Center, especially Julia. They sang happy birthday to her on our first night. And they invited her to joust in their medieval feast tournament.
My favorite part of the Black Hills was climbing up Mount Wheaton. We went up and saw some really cool sights, but on our way down we found a deer carcass.
What in the world?
Thanks to Facebook, I learned that my friend John Laskowski from college and his family were also vacationing in the Black Hills. So we decided to hang out with them for a day, playing mini golf, doing a human maze, and doing some gem mining.
This summer, my family and I went to go see One Republic in concert. It was my first official rock concert. It was great and all, but next summer is going to be even greater because we got tickets to see Taylor Swift!
Whoop, whoop.
When I was 7, I took swim lessons, and I found out you only have to be 14 to become a swim lessons teacher. So this year, I was 14, and I became a swim lessons teacher.
Job, Lucy.
Since we're talking about swimming, I was on the high school swim team this year. One of the fun things about that was I got to get out of school early and skip PE. Whoop whoop!
Now that I'm in my second year as manager for the events production team at Wheaton College, I'm feeling a little more like I can stretch my legs a bit. For example, I don't mind having our weekly production meeting at Ruby's Swim Bee.
This is my freshman year of high school, and I auditioned for a more advanced choir, and I got in.
For our 20th wedding anniversary, Mandy and I took an 11-day trip to England and Scotland. First priority when we got to England, find the Mr. Bean statue. We spent our first few days in London, and a couple of the highlights were going to the Churchill War Rooms, climbing all the way up to the top of St. Paul's Cathedral, and taking a trip to Wimbledon.
Since I have English roots, my grandfather was born in England, we decided to visit some of the ancestral sites. We drove out to the Wirral Peninsula. It's located just south of Liverpool. While there, we stayed at a bed and breakfast. The property adjacent to the bed and breakfast is the property my grandfather lived in for the first 4 years of his life. We met the current owner, Mr. Parkinson, who happily shared with us all of the property and all of the improvements that he's made over the last several decades. We found my great-grandparents' gravesite while we were in England at one of the small churches in one of the small towns. We also visited Bromborough Golf Club, which is where my great-grandfather was the golf pro around 1911. While we were at Bromborough, we met with the general manager and one of the historians of the golf club. They looked through their archives to see what sorts of things they could find about my great-grandfather. One really cool thing they found was this antique golf club from when he was the golf pro at Bromborough.
What in the world?
Towards the end of our trip, we spent a couple of days in Scotland, and some of the highlights were climbing up to the top of Arthur's Seat and touring Edinburgh Castle.
Julia has gotten really into her bones this year, so of course she had to be a skeleton for Halloween.
For the past 4 years, I've been working on an album with Sean O'Peblo, a Wheaton College composition prof. The album is called Lord How Come Me Here, and it was released in February. For the first couple of weeks after its release, it was the #1 best-selling album in its category on Amazon. On November 15th, I was in the middle of waiting for 5 hours online for Taylor Swift tickets. I love you, Ruby. When I found out that this album got nominated for a Grammy in the Best Classical Solo Vocal Album category.
Good job, Daddy!
So if the album wins on February 5th, yes, I will get a Grammy.
Thank you for taking a little bit of time to watch this video to see how our year went. Now, from the Porick family, we would all like to say,
I need to go potty.
Merry Christmas!
welcome to the Porous family.
Porous!
And I'm gonna say, is that funny?
What's one of your favorite songs on the radio?
Turn up the music. Let's celebrate. I got a feeling I'm gonna be okay. Okay, alright. It's about that time. I'm so ready.
Alright, let me just make sure I got you. Nice. Good hair flick. Outtakes.
Yeah.
Wanna say it? Okay, say it maybe 2 more times.
Maybe 2 more times?
Yeah.
Okay. What in the world? What in the world?
That was a little too literal. What's up?
This year, I'm twinkling in middle school, but I ain't sure. I did some sound.
What? What?